Devon Petersen, a very, very good afternoon. Just before we hit record, mate, the goatee is looking fresh, my son. You're checking yourself out a little bit. Do you? Oh, look at
You
that,
gotta be
mate.
you gotta be camera ready always, Harry. I done my hair specifically for you, and the goatee is to match. So yeah,
I wouldn't suit a goatee with my ginger beard, would I? I don't. I think I've got quite a strong beard, but I don't think a goatee
got
would
a handsome
actually,
beard, yeah,
you
with a
know.
nice little side trim. It could work.
Oh, thank you, mate. I mean, it's inspiring what you've got, the goatee, and I aspire to be just like you, not only on the hockey, mate, but
Ah,
also the look as
you
well.
said the
Devon,
sweetest
listen, mate.
things.
You're a regular on the Modus circuit. Just how excited are you for this big end to the month in Portsmouth? It's going to be massive, isn't it?
Yeah, I always say this, and I sound like I repeat myself, but the Modus Super Series has been a not just a breath of fresh air, but also a an opportunity to showcase players that are not on the tour. So I know that there's obviously the conversations about players below the 64 should be part of the modus and given all of those opportunities, but players that are not professionals that are not on tour currently now have the luxury of modus. And it all boils down to the platform and the success of the Modus Super Series. But when you add in this influencer events, you have celebrities now with a almost the stardom of the sport. So if you look at all the other sports, it's always glitz and glam. Darts was always the ugly duckling. It's the party sport, but it's not the sport, the go-to. Now everybody wants to get involved, and I think Modus, the influencer event at the Modus Super Series, is the event. It's where we got your YouTube influencers, your social media, your stars, your celebrities now trying their hand at a sport that at number one, it's inclusive. Number two is it's adaptable. And the number three thing is nobody's good at it. You only get good, so you stumble upon your greatness. And I think that it crosses so many things. There's a loads of party atmosphere, but still competitive, but fun, and players just pulling out some rabbits out of a bag, and it's always going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. It's really exciting, and I'm glad to be part of it.
It's, obviously you can be in the WDF and get experience there as well, but I don't think for young players, I think it's the best place that you could possibly get into to get that experience of being in front of a stage, especially on the weekend as well when they have the finals on the weekend. And do you know what? You've got your music that you come out to, even if it's just the default generic music that's put on, but still, it's that experience. And I think what was it at the weekend? We saw the first nine darter there with a live crowd, I believe.
Yeah, Danny Van
And
Tripe, yeah.
yeah, and I think it's such an unbelievable platform. Like we've seen players like Cam Crabtree come through, Connor Scott. I'm not even mentioning Luke Littler. Luke Littler is the third name off of my lips there. But I just think, people, because I play in the pub. I'm in a pub league, play 3 nights a week, and I'm trying to up my level. And if I could be at Modus at one point in my life, if that's the influencer event, even though I'm not that big of a name, or going up through the ranks, it's inspiring. That's what I would say.
I think it's the sport of the layman. It's the sport of the people. Simply because you can buy a dartboard, you can buy a set of darts, and you can actually start to Google and set up from a development perspective. You can start by just throwing a natural form. You'll be coached in a certain way. But like you said also, the most important thing about the Modus Super Series and the structure, a lot of professional players or players that get to the professional ranks would have gone through different layers, right? So they go through the WDF, you go through your local tournaments, you go through the pub, and I'm going from a ascending pattern here. And when you look at that, you understand very quickly that the time you actually spend on a stage is very minimal. It's not
Mm.
uh it's not a benefit for you to only get to the final stage on a stage once or twice or thrice, and then you kind of know it. The Motor Super Series allows you to play in day out. You're playing six games a day for 6 days. If you get to the finals, that is so many hours of experience on a stage, and that can't be replicated anywhere. Besides the walk on,
Mm.
besides the atmosphere, besides having Henry Deacon, Chris Murphy, Matthew Edgar, everybody making everything happen, and then you include all of that with almost replicating what you will experience on the PDC circuit, on the WDF circuit, when you get to that top tier. But you have that all the time, every single day. And now they have these ADC vaults that happen around. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
enthusiasm and excitement around the sport itself. Having that platform and having the Modus series is probably one of the biggest plus points of the development of the sport over the last coming years. And I think that it's only meant to get stronger and stronger as we go along. So players like you don't have to now stumble upon your greatness. There's actually an achievement, an opportunity for you to go through the ADC vault, to get to the Modus Super Series invite. And when you get there, make it and take the opportunity and run with it. Because a lot of players get there and be slightly a bit shell shocked because this is what they always wanted, and now you actually have to perform. So when you're ready, I mean, you'll get your shot at it, no doubt.
Oh, I hope so, mate. In a good couple of years. Devon, let's speak about the international pairs, of course. You'll be representing South Africa. You represented South Africa at the World Cup this year for the PDC. It was unbelievable. I mean, you're an absolute showman. I know there's a lot of drama with you and the Northern Irish
Yeah.
boys and stuff like that, but we're not getting into that. I just want to ask you, what would it mean to you if you were to get your hands on that trophy for South Africa down in Portsmouth?
The international pairs, I mean, something that the Modus Super Series conjured up and created, and the start event happened, and we had Kenya part of it. The second one having South Africa as part of this international pairs, and you look at the names scattered in that draw as well. It is tough. It is top tier talent. It is experience. When you make that all part of that Modus Series setup, it's just exciting. It's going to be exciting. Dots. 4 players on the stage, what could happen? I mean, we saw it happen with us in Northern Ireland. They were claiming that I was throwing water and talking and all of these things, but that's part and parcel of it. And I'm saying that if we get to the point of lifting that trophy, a lot of the times lifting a trophy is only that 5, 6, 7 seconds of pure joy. But what it means for
Mm,
Africa, what it means for South Africa, to inspire a continent, that is the big win for us. It's to make sure that they understand that winning is for Africa as well. Because a lot of the time,
mm.
what you see on stage is Europeans, it's UK players, it's GB players, all of these things. You got players from the US coming, Australia, all of these, never Africans. And then when I started to win on that stage and achieve greatness and all of these things, you realize that it's for everybody. So that
Yeah.
is the bigger win. Picking up the trophy, that's great because we'll be able to have some coffee in that mug at some point. But the other thing is the win for Africa would be much bigger and more grander.
You think about Peter Wachiri as well and what he's achieved. I mean, he won the Influencer Showdown with my good friend Ollie Howard, who obviously you played, I think it was a couple of weeks ago at
Oh
Modus
yeah,
as
beat him
well.
twice as well.
But, oh yeah, I mean, we'll get into that in a minute.
so
And I
so
absolutely
so
loved
Ollie
that you beat him.
Ollie was sending me messages and video clips all the time, tagging me in the shots he's been taking Hamza, and I'll just send back to him. It's a shame you didn't win. It's a shame, but I think those kind of elements, like having Peter Washuri win as well, it's now Africa's walking off the stage knowing that they can win. We had Cameron Carolus, and he got to the semifinals of the Saturday last Saturday, and you understand that it's part and parcel of it. So yeah, I think what we're creating and the culture we're creating on the continent is we can go into international events and win. Now,
Mm.
once we can create that, you have to see our players lift the darker skin, the more melatonin, lifting that. And when you understand that, it just inspires a whole nation and a whole continent.
You think about I remember it was the video maybe at the turn of the year, at back end of last year, when Peter Wachiri won a game over in Kenya, and you heard all the Vuvuzelas as
Oh,
well.
mate, that
I
was
mean,
incredible.
it was magical, and I hadn't heard of Vuvuzelas since the 2010 World Cup, so it almost took me back to the South
Straight to
African
that,
World
yeah.
Cup, and I was just
I
like,
was
I've never seen a darts atmosphere like it in my
I
life.
was commentating on that, right? And because obviously that was the World Championship qualifier, he got to the finals, but his build up to that, he was fighting, and nobody heard about Peter Washuri before that. So he came from the village, he then played, he got to the final, and it's great that we could have that platform through the African Darts Group and share that. Because if I told you that there was Vuvuzelas at our event, you wouldn't have been able to kind of comprehend what they would have that experience. But now that we have the platform, streaming it, showing everybody, that was for me, that is one of my best clips as well. Because and seeing him, I wish he took out that 154 because I was lost for words. I thought that was going to be the glory moment for him. But I mean, the way in which it's turned out, fantastic. I think Peter Washuri is one of the top players that we have in Africa, and long may he continue.
My last question for you, Devon. I need to speak to you about this man who is returning to the stage, and his name is Adrian Lewis. Just break it down for me. I mean, we're all darts purists, even though you'll potentially be coming up against him. But you, as a darts fan, as a player, how happy are you that you're going to be not only sharing the same building with him again, potentially the same Oki at the same time? Because me, as a huge fan of AD, mate, I'm lost for words. I can't wait.
Adrian Lewis is a fantastic talent. Let's kind of line in the sand. We know that back-to-back world champs, all of the stuff, 9 darts in the finals. He was what Luke Lilla is now. He was that boy, right? And I think that like life has come, knocked him a bit sideways, changed paths, focus, and all of these things. To have him return, it shows his tenacity and his bounce back ability. And I know that coming back from injury and all of these stuff and lack of form, and it happens with everybody. Now, Adrian Lewis, I've seen him at exhibitions, right? He is playing top tier darts. He's beating the very best with 107 averages and all of that stuff. That gets me extremely excited because now we get to see one of the very best make a return. A lot of the times we see them exit and they never return. We get to see Adrian Lewis pull that lever one more time and can hit the jackpot. I mean, we don't know. But like you say, purist, I was a fan before I became a pro. And the big thing is being able to rub shoulders with him, talk to him, engage with him at exhibitions. It's phenomenal. So I'm happy. I'm glad that I'm going to be competing with him. I hope he's not at his very best when I do compete against him, simply so that we can have a chance.
I hate to be that guy, but I'd love to see Adrian Lewis absolutely destroy everyone because it would just be. I mean, Devon, I love you, but I mean, just for the spectacle, it would be unbelievable. Devon Petersen, good luck out there, mate. Thank you very much for speaking to Talk Sport Darts.
Cheers, Harry. I appreciate it, man. Take care.